In this video, I'll be showing you the standard preparation for popcorn grain spawn. So because of the size that popcorn swells up to when it's been hydrated, you want to make sure that you use jars which are as large as possible. The small jars I have on the left are just large beetroot jars, and the other jars here are just 1000 milliliter or 1 quart jars. First thing you want to do is pour out all of your popcorn into as many jars as possible. You should only really fill them halfway, because if you fill them at the top, when they swell, it's going to be difficult to pour them back out and into a pan. Measure out as much popcorn as you like, and then pour water inside the jars and then leave them overnight. So I used 3 500 gram packets of popcorn grains, and that turned into 6 jars of popcorn grain spawn. Pour all your popcorn out into a pan, then leave it to simmer for 40 minutes to an hour, and I'll show you how to tell if your grains are finished in a moment. The popcorn grain is fully hydrated when you can take the majority of the kernels and split them between your thumb and index finger, and then crumble the inside of the grain using your thumb and index finger. So you can see here with a little bit of pressure, it crumbling into little bits all over the desk. So you want to strain your popcorn into a colander. One of the best things about popcorn grain spawn is it doesn't make a mess if it misses the strainer. You want to leave it inside the strainer to allow all the water on the outside of the kernels to evaporate, and then start placing them into the jar when the outside of the kernel is no longer wet to touch. Fill all your jars up to the halfway point. And finally, put the lids on the jars. I normally don't use this type of jar for grain spawn, and I'm just going to show you why now. So sometimes little bits of mycelium can clog up the air exchange filter, and then it ends up choking out your jars, and in the end I have to loosen the jars to stop the jars from stalling. They're great for creating liquid culture, but they're not so good for creating grain spawn for this reason. Finally, put tin foil over the lids of all of your jars. If you don't have elastic bands, then just use your finger and make a little bit of a crease here, and they should stay on top of the jars. And it also means the tin foil will be reusable when you take them off because it won't be damaged. For sterilisation, line the bottom of your pressure cooker with a rack, fill the pressure cooker with 2000 millilitres of water, that's about 2 quarts, and then sterilise at 15 psi for 90 minutes. Put your burner on high. Once you hit 15 psi and the weight starts to rattle, then you just turn it down to low heat to maintain pressure. I don't modify the rattle, I just leave it to make loads of noise, because as long as I know that that's rattling, I know it's at 15 psi and my house isn't going to blow up because I've blocked the vent.